Hi guys, I'm here doing a quick video on my earrings, how I do them, and what materials I use. So first, let's get started on what I use to the base of them. I use these wooden blanks. I get them on Amazon. They come in different shapes. And what I do is I paint the backs of them, just for something, just in case the earring turns around, or something to look at in the back, so it's not blank like this. Then what I use are different kinds of materials for putting that pattern on the front. This one I use cardstock, and I just cut it out with, you can cut it out, use a pencil, cut it out, and then cut it with the scissors and then put it on. But you can also use a stamp and stamp it out. I didn't find any stamp that works really well except for the 2-inch or 1-inch circles, which I don't have. But what I do is I just trace it and then cut it out. I'll show a video exactly, or I'll make a video on how I make it exactly so I can show you guys. But this is just what I use. So that's the cardstock one. And to seal it, I use Mod Podge. Mod Podge to seal it. So that's that example. And then for this one, I used origami paper, which is a little bit thinner than the cardstock. So I prefer this one. So you just cut it out, same thing. This was two-sided. Cut it out, put it on, put the Mod Podge on the base first, and then stick it on, then put more Mod Podge on top, and then let it dry. This one, you can see it has a shimmer. If you can see that it has like a glitter to it. I also used this glitter sparkle Mod Podge on the top to seal it, and that gives it a nice glitter finish. That's not too much glitter, just enough, just a little bit. They have the glitter Mod Podge that's like more heavier, but I haven't used that one. So then you can also use tissue paper. This is a fancy tissue paper. This is like my treasured tissue paper because I can't find it anywhere else but Amazon, and even Amazon, like, you can barely find it. Hopefully they still have it. Tissue paper, like, looks like newspaper, and that's what this looks like. This one has the glitter on it, the glitter finish. But you can do the same thing with the tissue paper, cut it out, and put the Mod Podge on first, regular Mod Podge. And then you stick it on, then you put coats of Mod Podge. I use 2 coats, plus the finishing coat of the glitter sparkle Mod Podge. So that's with tissue paper. And then you can also use fabric, which I don't have a blank one. I have one only covered with the base, but you can use any kind of fabric. Just a regular fabric, like the cotton fabric, not like an upholstery fabric or something. At least I haven't tried it with upholstery fabric. So just a regular fabric, cut it out, same thing. And then you have this. On this one, I actually, if you can see, it's much shinier much shinier, and it's harder because I used UV resin to do the last coat of it. So I just put the resin on top, cured it with the lamp, and then it comes out like this. And I really like this effect. There's one that it has the same effect, but it's not UV resin. I'll show it in just a second. But this one came out really nice. So that's the UV resin fabric. That's really pretty. And then there's another thing that you can use. Let me see if I have a piece here. Here we go. You can actually use tissue paper. Just regular tissue paper. What you do is there's 2 layers or 3 layers. When you get your tissue paper, you just peel off the layers until you're left with the top layer only. And then this one is with the tissue paper. Then you put the tissue paper on. This one is just like that. You just stick it on. Well, this way. Stick it on, and you're gonna have some overhang. And then what you do after it dries, you take some sanding paper and just sand it off the edges, and it comes right off. Again, I'll show you guys that when I do the next tutorial that I'm gonna do eventually. But this is tissue paper, and I just coated it with Mod Podge. This one I actually did the matte Mod Podge, or did I do the shiny regular? But anyway, you can also use matte Mod Podge, and it gives you a different look. So that's the tissue paper. And then I think that's all I've used so far. Oh, no. I used washi tape. And this one is made with washi tape. See, look at that. It came out so nice. And I put the glitter finish Mod Podge, the sparkle on top of it. This is with the washi tape. So what you do is you just put the washi tape on top. Make sure there's no gaps. Then you cover it with Mod Podge. Let that dry. Well, first you cut. Oh yeah, you let it dry, and then you pick it up and then cut it out on the sides because you're gonna have overhang. And then you finish it with whatever you want. You can finish it with the matte, with the regular, or with the sparkle, whichever one you want, whichever kind of finish you want for your project. So that's with the washi tape, and I have tons of different styles of washi tape. That one has to be that happens to be the little twin stars, which I really like that washi tape. And I'm gonna do some Hello Kitty ones once I find it. I haven't been able to find it. I don't know where I put it. I put it somewhere safe, so one day I'll find it. And then what you can also do you can buy the blanks of, these are bookmarks. And then I just painted the backs. Or you could do it double-sided. You could do both sides with whatever tissue paper or origami paper or washi tape or whatever you want. So that's that. This ones I did with tissue paper. And it came out just like this. And I didn't use any sparkle. I just used regular Mod Podge to finish it. And then the backs are just painted. And the kit that the set that I ordered came with these little puff balls. But they come with tassels also. So it just depends what you want. And the last one is so far my favorite one that I've done, the finish at least, is with fabric and Dimensional Magic. This one, you can see I use sparkle on it, but I use Dimensional Magic from Mod Podge to finish it up. So this one I think is a little bit better than UV resin, in my opinion. So far I think it's better because the UV resin It's much stickier. You gotta wear gloves. You gotta cure it. It's fast because, you know, it's done within a few minutes, but sometimes you get air bubbles. This one you get air bubbles too, but it seems like these ones you can just pop. The other ones you have to use a lighter. And it just, for me, it didn't come out as uniformed and it came kind of lumpy, but I realized what I was doing wrong, so I have to redo it and then I'll see if I like it better or not. But yeah, this one is with the sparkle, and this one is the fabric without the sparkle. So what I did is I did the whole thing again with Mod Podge, did the last coat with sparkle, let everything dry, then put Dimensional Magic on top of it. Just put the whole thing, cover it in it, and make sure there's no air bubbles. Just pop the air bubbles if you have any, and then let it dry for 24 hours. These ones have been drying for about 15 hours. So I'm still trying not to touch them too much, but so far they're coming out great. So that's it. I think I covered everything. Oh, sorry, I keep shaking the camera because I'm shaking my leg. Yeah, I think I covered everything. The tissue paper, the napkin, the origami paper, the washi tape, and the cardstock. The cardstock is like thicker, like I said. So it's a little bit more difficult, in my opinion at least, and what I found. I like the origami paper because it's a little thinner, you know, and it seems to be easier to work with. The tissue paper is very easy to work with. You just have to be careful with tearing when you're doing your project, but just be gentle with it and you shouldn't have too much problems. Since I only painted one side and I kept the other side blank, like a paper like this, a tissue paper like this, you would be kind of seeing through the blank. You would see through it a little bit. If that's the look you're going for, then fine, but if not, you want to cover it in white maybe, so you can see your print a little easier. But it all depends on what you know what you're looking for. The fabric is pretty thick, so you don't have to paint the other side. It won't come through unless you're using a really thick, a really thin fabric that's really light. I guess it could go through, but I doubt it. So, and the fabric is pretty easy to work with, believe it or not. And then what you do, I'll show you guys, but what you do is just paint on the Mod Podge, put your fabric, then you're gonna have overhang, let everything dry, do a couple coats, and then you cut it out real close. You can't use the file, the sandpaper, obviously, but you can cut it real close and you'll get a pretty good, a pretty fine edge, you know, like as you can see, it came out pretty well, just me cutting it out. So, and then that's it. Tissue paper, pretty easy to work with again. It's kind of like well, this is the gift tissue paper, and it's kind of like napkin, mix of napkin and paper, so that works pretty well. It's easy to work with. And that's it. The washi tape also, so far, you know, like with the wear of it, I'm not sure, but if you know, you put on the Mod Podge, then you put on the washi tape. I made the mistake once. I forgot to put the Mod Podge, and then I just put the washi tape, and when I went to lift it up, it kind of just came right off. So I did it again with the washi tape, with the washi tape, and then with the Mod Podge first, then the tape, and then it came out just fine. So you just got to make sure you put that coat on your base first before you do anything else. Okay, that is it, I think. You know, this is some of them I've done. I'm gonna make them into earrings. Some of them I'm gonna make into pendants. And oh, this one, for the back of this one, I actually use alcohol inks, and I just put little dots, and it kind of goes right into the wood. So that one came out pretty nice. And I put the glitter Mod Podge on the back to make it a little more shiny, a little interesting look. So that's gonna be for a necklace. Yep. This one is my favorite one so far that I've done. This is with a napkin. I really like the way this one came out, the lavender. All right, well, that is it for me. If you have any questions or comments, just, you know, leave a comment, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I see it. I'm going to try and do that video of exactly how I make each one. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you watched this all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. And you guys have a great day, and take care. Bye.